What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for September 23rd, 2019. That's a Monday. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, and I'm joined by our up-and-comer Blessing Adeoye Jr. Yay! From OK Beast.
Yeah.
Hey, Blessing, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm great. How's San Francisco treating you?
It's cool.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's chill outside. Somebody told me about like doo-doo smells on the street.
Yeah.
Michael Hyam tweeted me about that.
Sure.
I haven't experienced it yet.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
looking forward to it though.
Sure. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wow, you want the whole experience.
I want the whole
really,
experience.
You really want to get this in. That's disgusting when you say it like that. If you didn't know, January 5th, Kinda Funny celebrated its anniversary. We did a Patreon fundraiser, and one of the goals was the up-and-comer program. Last year, of course, we started bringing more and more younger, smaller creators onto Kinda Funny Games Daily. We said, let's go a bit further in 2019, and you guys supported us to get us there. Blessing Jr. here, of course. The games version. Chloe already came through. She did her Kinda Funny run, but now we've flown you in, we've put you up, and for 1 week, we are making use of you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, are we putting you on shows? Are you excited?
I'm really excited.
So the plan is you're hosting Kinda Funny Games Daily every day this week.
Yes.
Originally, the idea was you would do 2 with me in terms of where you're in co-host.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday, you would be the lead host with me.
Yes.
Then Thursday, you could do it with whoever you want. Friday, you could do it with whoever you want. Then out of the blue, Last of Us decided to have an event tomorrow. So today's your 1 day to get used to being on the show. And tomorrow you have to host it with WWE superstar Xavier Woods.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. You got it. Austin Creed, up, up, down, down. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Of course.
And then, of course, Thursday, you picked Per Schneider.
Yep.
One of the founders of IGN to come host with you.
Yes, I did.
Per, of course, said, okay, I like it. I like your future proofing, trying to get a job. I
Exactly.
appreciate that. And then Alex Van Aken, your OK Beast counterpart, coming in on Friday.
Yes. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You picked quite the week. You know what I mean? So I'm gone for Last of Us tomorrow, which means you're doing the live reacts with Tim in the afternoon.
Yes.
You got a games cast with us, of course, on Thursday. There's a whole bunch of stuff for you to do.
So much happening.
But JBR wrote into patreon.com/kindafunnygames and says the following: Greetings, Greg, and Blessing. Blessing, for someone who may not know who you are, such as myself, who are you? I've heard your name in the Kinda Funny community, but I am not very familiar. Good luck with this week on Kinda Funny Games Daily and the great lineup of guests you have coming up.
I'm just a dude that likes to make content on the internet. I got involved in the Kinda Funny community because I was originally a fan of Beyond.
Sure.
When you were back at IGN. Followed you here, became a big fan of Game Over Greggy show when that first started. And from there, when you guys left IGN to like do this full time, I became involved in the community through the Facebook group, actually. That's where I first started posting. I first started to meet people, make friends through there, became friends with like people like Joey and Barrett and Andy and a lot of the other community members there. From there, essentially started OK Beast as a way to essentially like create a portfolio.
Sure.
Because a dream of mine was to work in the industry, do what you guys were doing. I became like, once again, I was a fan of Beyond. I was a fan of GameScoop. And so seeing you guys do that, right? I was like, okay, I want to do this. I want to get
idiots can do it. Anybody.
Yeah,
can
I was like, dude, they can do it. Like talking about video games, how easy is that? And so I started OK Beast as a way to essentially pull together a portfolio, get experience, do all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, somehow, you know, things happened and I ended up here.
Yeah. Do you still see OK Beast as that? Like, is this
OK
something to build a
Beast?
portfolio? Because you just had your first PAX panel.
Yeah.
And not only did you have your first PAX panel, you packed the fucking room.
It's so strange because it started off as a portfolio and somehow it grew to be something more. Somehow, like, you know, through bringing on people like my friend Ian Purcell, who a few months into OK Beast, he somehow found me and was like, dude, I like what you're doing here. I want to get involved. And so I brought Ian Purcell on. Same with Alex Van Aken and Brandon Wilson. Like I found them. I found Alex through the Facebook group, I believe, the Kinda Funny Facebook group. And we did like this whole Extra Life thing together, Alex v Bless, which was essentially like this like fake rivalry thing that we did. And through that, that kind of blew up in the Facebook group.
Yeah.
And that kind of became this huge fun thing. And through that, I think we realized that we work well together. And so they became a part of OK Beast. And over the last couple of years, we just like started to grow a community. We started to grow people, grow a group of people that became into what we did. which is awesome. And yeah, like we sort of became our own thing. And so it grew from being a portfolio to now being like our own, like legit, like, hey, we're actually making a product here. Hey, we actually have a website. Hey, like we make podcasts, videos, articles, all that good stuff. And we're kind of our own well-oiled machine.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Very proud of you.
Thank you. I
what mean?
appreciate it.
I think that's the thing that's the best about getting to start Kind of Funny and have a group and a community is to see you guys splinter off and make your own things and find your own groups and find your own podcasts and your own communities.
Yeah, it's incredible because it started off with like listening to, it's like, I was gonna say people like you, but literally you saying like, hey, if you want to do this, just do it, like just start it, just go for it. And I think hearing that really like inspired me and made me go like, okay, like, why not just do it, and see what happens. And what happened was like, yeah.
OKBeast.com.
OKBeast.com.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, that's enough of promoting that. Today we have a lot to talk about. Like, are we getting a new Batman game? What's Xbox doing tomorrow? And are video games going to stop climate change? Because this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about. I said variety, just so you know. I'm aware I said it, everybody. Calm down. You need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show. Patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. You can give us your questions, comments, concerns, everything under the video game sun. Then tune in to watch us record the show live. Twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. If you're watching live, you have a special job. Go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screwed up, so we can set the record straight. For everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, roosterteeth.com, and listening on podcast services around the globe. Housekeeping for you today. We already mentioned it, but just to put a pin in it, State of Play watch along is happening tomorrow. Tune in to twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. Kevin, I'm making this up as I go. 12:45 p.m. That's 15 minutes before the actual State of Play starts. You can come there. It'll be Tim. It'll be Blessing. They'll all be here talking about what's to come, what they think is going to happen. And trust me, we're going to talk about that today. What's The Last of Us going to look like? You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
I appreciated you when you got all like hyped. You're like, oh my God, they're doing The Last of Us when the media event went out. Last of Us event. I'm like, what do you think? You're going? And I tried. You
did try.
I fucking tried to get you to come.
Legit, I don't know if Joey told you this. As soon as I saw it, I was like, well, I was excited because I'm going to get to talk about Last of Us too.
Yeah.
But then I was like maybe 10 minutes later, I was like, what if like I was able to go down to LA? And so I DM'd Joey. I was like, yo, what are the chances that you guys can get me down to LA? And then Joey was like, we're bringing you down to San Francisco. What more do you want? And I was like, fair point. That's fair.
No, I hit up PlayStation when they gave me the invite. I was like, I understand, but this is what's happened. Like, it's a super small event, one thing per outlet. That's it. I'm like, I'm not giving it to you. I don't need you to go and make an OKB.
So instead, I just have to host with Xavier Woods.
Exactly. I know. Boohoo. And watch the live stream with Tim and then talk to me about Last of Us on Thursday's
Exactly.
Gamescast. Thank you to our Patreon producers, patreon.com/re-retro-games, Blackjack and Mohammed Mohammed. Today we're brought to you by Upstart, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 5 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen.
Number 1. And cool, Greg, you might want to get out of the doorway because we're going to talk about a new Batman game, and I don't want Barrett to run you over. Are we about to get a Batman Court of Owls game? Oh, my God.
Go, motherfuckers. Oh, my God. What's up, Blessing? I'm sorry to take over the show for a second. It's 2019, the year of our Lord, and it's been a terrible year for our collective well-being as a modern society, but it's been a great year for hype-ass Barrett Courtney-ass announcements. First, we got Battle for Bikini Bottom HD remake. Now we're getting a Breaking Bad movie, and now you're telling me that this fucking Batman Court of Owls game is real? Scott Snyder tweeted out about it.
Don't get ahead of the bullet points, sir.
It's just so exciting.
I thought you were going to be on Shock Mike. I didn't think you were going to wear the bat collar and come running in. If you're an audio listener, he's dressed up. Anyways, as you know, there's been rumors, speculation for how long now, Barrett? Years? Can we get Shock Mike turned up?
Yeah, like the last 2 years.
Because remember, there was the shirt and said redacted dev team, and it looked like a Court of Owls logo.
It started like 2 years ago when it was like a holiday party and like some employees.
Oh, and they all had the Court of Owls mask on. Anyways, things have heated up over the weekend. Of course, it was Batman Day for Batman's 80th anniversary, and breaking a 4-year silence on Twitter, WB Games Montreal tweeted the following: at WB Games, MTL is proud to celebrate Batman's 80th anniversary with rest of the world during hashtag Batman Day, hashtag Batman 80. Kev, if you want to click on the link that I have in there that say the video has several weird logos in it, they were quote tweeting, right? Or they putting out this video of one of the bat signals around the world that's been up on the side of a building.
Yeah.
However, when you play the video, it starts getting, and if you're an audio or a visual person right now, you can see several of the logos that pop up through. It looks like there's 4 different ones, correct, Barrett? The one we have here
like
is
three. There's three that we've been able to like pick out in the like subreddit and stuff, and then someone else like was able to find like kind of like focus in on the other one. Yeah. So I think
so one of them
four.
looks like the demon's head, right? Ras Al Ghul.
Yeah,
Ra's al
Ra's al
Ghul.
Ghul.
I like saying Raz. I'm always gonna say Raz. Why can't we
you're
just
the
say
worst.
Raz? You know what I mean?
Say his name.
But that's how we
I
all
love how
said it
you
for
say
so
Raz,
long.
but then you're like, The Dark Knight Rises is a bad movie, but that's where you get it from, you know.
What did they say in Arrow?
No,
Was
he
that Ross?
said
I don't know.
you get Raz in the first one.
Oh,
No,
Batman Begins.
Begins, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, you don't even know Batman, you coward, getting in here. And then I could have sworn, I remember it being Ra's al Ghul in the animated series.
It's not.
He tries to tell me it's Ra's al Ghul. I think he's trying to retcon. It's like Berenstein Bears. You know what I mean? I don't like this.
They make a joke about it in Batman Beyond.
Anyways, all these logos pop up. Now, you had pointed out on your Twitter, because you were freaking out all weekend long, Barrett, that it doesn't look like the same Court of Owls logo, any of them.
Right. Like the shirt that came out, I think it was last December, there was an employee that tweeted out like it was like the back of her shirt, and it looked almost one-to-one like the Court of Owls logo from the comics, and she was like, best redacted team ever or something like that, and it was yellow. But yeah, this looks completely different. It does look more like the demon's head.
Well, there's
than these
multiple
other
in there. This
logos,
one, the one we're looking at now, some people are like, oh, it looks like a fancy Arkham logo. Like, okay, I
It
can see
also
that
looks
stuff.
like the like Freemason logo as well.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, hold on. We'll talk about all this, obviously, as we unpack it. However, that went up. The logos went up. Everybody's freaking out. Then Scott Snyder, of course, writer of many an amazing comic book, Dark Knight Metal. He's obviously done the Court of Owls stuff.
Yeah.
He quote tweeted WB Montreal and says, quote, wait for it, .. #beware the Court of Owls. Then later deleted the tweet.
Oh, like right after.
Right, yeah. It's like as soon as it went out, somebody must have been like, no, man, what are you doing? And then on top of that, the game director at WB Montreal quote tweeted that and said, something's going on, and then sunglass emojis. Now, Blessing.
Sir.
What do you? Barrett wants to believe everything. You look at him over there pumping his fists, right? Looks like.
I'm with him.
Oh, you're with him?
Yeah, I think there's a new Batman game, right? Like that's the conclusion to be had from all this.
Yeah, that seems like it, right? That definitely seems like it.
It seems like the announcement is imminent, I would imagine.
Yeah. Now, how imminent, Blessing?
I mean,
is it fucking happening tomorrow, Blessing?
There are two different places it could happen tomorrow.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's coming up later. There's an Inside Xbox as well tomorrow.
Yeah, and so I imagine, I'll put my money that it's going to happen at either State of Play or Inside Xbox. Which one? I don't know, but
State of Play.
State of Play, you think so?
Yeah. I think I love Inside Xbox. I think it's a great magazine kind of show, but I don't think
They've not.
place.
they would have promoted like the Inside Xbox, and I can drag that into you right now because I put it down at number 3. We'll eventually get to it. There's a tweet that went up today. We're coming at you live tomorrow with XO19 updates, and then they had a video, and it's like the tweet says XO19 updates, the Outer Worlds, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and more. And then the video has Outer Worlds in it, DayZ, Hitman 2, After Party, and then a bunch of other little games. I feel like you would have been like, and a megaton, and something that will shock you.
Interesting. Yeah. Like Inside Xbox seems like they could, like Inside Xbox is fine. Like like all of the streams they've done have been cool, but I feel like, State of Play we're more excited about, and Nintendo Directs we're more excited about. And so it'd be cool if they were able to like
Bring the hype,
build that expectations for like megaton announcements, which is why I want to believe that they'd pull something like a new Batman game. But given the precedent, then yeah, like I could see it very, very well being at the State of Play.
My State of Play and Nintendo Directs are in the same vein as some kind of E3 announcement, right?
Yes.
Or some kind of E3 trailer
Yes.
or a press conference. Inside Xbox, which I like, is more like Core used to be in the PlayStation 3 days, right? The Veronica Belmont hosted PlayStation Visual magazine that they put out, where it's like, here's a bunch of different segments and updates and things like that. I think if you are WB and you're looking to make the biggest splash with this game, and PlayStation's like, what about a State of Play? And you're like, it's an unproven product. And you're like, what about a State of Play where we reveal The Last of Us release date and probably like more gameplay footage than ever? I'm sure they're like, okay, cool. You open, we close, vice versa. And you're like, that's a fucking show right there. And at 20 minutes, that's going to be fucking adrenaline into your eyeballs. If that's exactly what happens, who knows?
And the reason this rumor started, because I saw, like, over the weekend, I saw all this kind of, like, happening in real time, where the Arkham subreddit had posted, like, from a Reset era, it was just, like, a thread of, like, oh, like, what do we think is going to be at State of Play, blah, 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 all this stuff. And then, like, a user on that Reset era thread who has been correct in, like, kind of insider information, like, kind of leaking stuff before, all they said was new Batman game. Arkham subreddit's lighting itself on fire, and when it was just that, I was like, no way, no. You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
We gotta stop getting our hopes up.
See, that's the problem with the Arkham subreddit is that they're so thirsty out in the desert. They're drinking sand all the time. Just being like, ah.
But you know what? After a while, that sand starts to taste real good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then this tweet happened. I woke up to this tweet happening. And a lot of people. There's a lot of naysayers yesterday. Like, they're just celebrating.
A lot of people have been burned before.
Why would they? Not. They didn't tweet about Batman Day a year ago. They didn't tweet about 2 years. They haven't tweeted in fucking 4 years.
Yeah.
Well, they randomly come out of the world. I know like 80th is like the big anniversary, but also the other thing is they didn't even tweet on Batman Day. They tweeted yesterday. And so like that's also the tease images and all that stuff. And then later on we get the Scott Snyder thing and people are still naysayers. It's like, what else do you need? What more proof do you want?
Here's a question I have for you, Blessing, as someone more level-headed than Barrett.
Yes.
Obviously, we love teases. We love planting seeds. Could this be planting the seed for Game Awards, do you think?
I just find it strange how everything's kind of built up this weekend. Because it feels like, between all the things that Barrett just listed, like, why is all... And I guess it could be for the Batman Day, right? But I feel like it's just all conveniently, like, built
right now, and I feel like
right
it's
now.
too early to like even tease that right now, right? Like,
yeah.
If this was a Game Awards thing, they would have started doing this next month or in November or something like that. Like I feel like it's way too early to do that, right?
Yeah, and I'm of two minds because like Batman Day does provide like a reason for this all to kind of build now, but at the same time, like
it's a little too early.
There's a lot of things happening.
Yeah,
and also it is kind of early. Yeah. But I mean, it's not out of the question that like Game Awards something could happen.
And a lot of people, I don't know like where this came from, but a lot of people were responding to me like, oh, they usually announce Arkham games at the Game Awards shows and whatnot. And the last two Arkham games, Origins and Night, were like Origins was announced in like March 2013 and Night was announced in like May 2014. So I don't know where that like maybe like one of the games got announced at Game Awards. I don't remember, but that's not like a kind of set precedent that they have. So I don't know why people are thinking that, but.
Okay.
I just want it now. Give it to me now, Greg.
I understand the question.
Doesn't happen tomorrow. Life's not worth living. You know what I'm saying?
Since I've assembled my Justice League here, I have a question for both of you. All right, this comes from Alex over on Patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Hey there, Greg and Blessing, and now Barrett. Make room for my boy Barrett. Because we are talking about Batman. After WB Montreal's subtle tweet, followed by Snyder's not-so-subtle tweet, Cordoval seems to be all but confirmed. So what do you want to see out of the next Batman game, and what do you expect? Do you think we get more of the same, which I'd totally be fine with, or do you think it's time Montreal steps out of Rocksteady's shadow? Personally, I hope they go bold with a brand new art style, maybe something more comic booky. The core gameplay is good, though. That, I think you leave mostly intact. Would love to hear your thoughts. Blessing, what do you think?
So I saw somebody on Twitter tweet this, and I can't remember who, and so I apologize for not like citing you, but like somebody said that it'd be cool to see a Nemesis system be employed in this game.
Which was the rumor, right? That's what Nemesis originally was for the Lord of the Rings games, that it was made to be a Batman
Really?
thing. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Ditched. That's the rumor. Yeah.
That would be awesome for Batman, especially because like, there's such a variety of villains. There's so many cool things they could do with,
Okay, yeah. Sorry, go ahead. No, because you got me percolating.
Yeah.
Sorry. Because like the idea would be so cool about it would be suddenly all the thugs that are in the world that are just there,
like you
suddenly
give them more
have
meaning.
A backstory.
Yes.
Right. And I also think it's interesting that they're showing what I saw on the subreddit was 4 different logos pulled from that trailer. Right. It reminds me a lot, and I know they've kind of already done this, but like No Man's Land. Of like, what if Cordoval's had their own section of No Man's Land, which of course is a lot like Arkham City, where the Batman, they shut down Gotham. It was excommunicated from the United States. It was just left to its own devices, and it got broken up into different gang territories.
Yeah, I'm into that. Like, I think that could be a cool direction. And it's WB, and WB also does Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, and so like there's shared like ideas there that they could just kind of pull from.
Totally.
I think that'd be cool. Like a new. I feel like something has to be done to take it to the next level. Not that like Arkham City and Arkham Knight aren't still great games, but it kind of reminds me of like the thing that that you would say actually with like Fallout 4, where Fallout 4 came after Fallout 3. It was very much like, here's a more polished Fallout 3.
Here's what you'd expect a PlayStation 4 Fallout 4 to look like.
Here's what you'd expect, right? But like I feel like action games have kind of come a long way since even like Arkham Knight, where now we get like Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's awesome because like I feel like everything you do in that game is fun, like swinging, fighting, everything. There's such a kinetic nature to everything you do in that game that I feel like that alone is its own innovation. I feel like you can look at other action games that have come out recently, and they've kind of upped the ante, and so I would like to see the next game do something in order to like innovate and up the ante somehow. What that is exactly, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like something has to be like, not that like, you know, if they came out with Arkham Knight 2, it'd be fine. Like, people would be good with it, but I feel like you would have a lot of the same conversation that's going on, even with Borderlands 3 right now, where Borderlands 3 comes out and it is definitely like more, it's polished. The graphics are way more crisp than Borderlands 2, but at the same time, structurally, it's doing a lot of the same things.
It's
so
more Borderlands.
It's more Borderlands.
It's Borderlands in a current gen console.
Yes, and a lot of people love that, but then you have like a lot of people that are like, well, this is cool, but this could be so much more.
Yeah, that's what Imran was talking about on Gamescast this week.
Yeah, and so I would like to see some sort of shift or change or progression in terms of what a Batman game can be.
Now, Barrett, as the expert, what do you think? Because, my thought process whenever we talked about this would be, okay, it's going to be another prequel, like Origins.
Yeah, it's got to be like the sequel to Origins.
But it raises a good point that, like, I do think where we're at is, like, if you do that, you immediately pigeonhole this game. In the same way I think Origins never really got a fair shake. Yeah. If this just looks like more Arkham and it's in the same Arkham universe, I feel like you are going to run into, oh, wow, why didn't Rocksteady do this? Oh, it's not as good as Rocksteady would have.
Because it's like the fifth one of these games?
It would be the fifth one.
Fifth?
Yeah, because Night was Asylum, City, Origins, Night.
Yeah, so
Don't
this is
forget
gonna
about
be
Blackgate on your Vita.
Oh yeah,
and your
Blackgate.
DS.
No,
of course.
It's the fifth.
Of course.
Fucking Vito's.
But yeah, for a fifth
console.
one of these games, I feel like you gotta do something that's more than the Batmobile, is what I'll say.
Yeah. I have no expectation. Like, I have no idea. Like, I would be super cool with just a sequel to Origins, and they innovate on like what they can in like the kind of Arkham game universe and whatnot. And I think it would be cool, and I think they could actually pull it off of like, okay, this is like, it is still like the Arkham verse and whatnot, but we are changing up like art style, and we might change up like the kind of structure of what the open world Gotham City is, especially if we're talking about things like the Nemesis system and like the idea that I talked about on some stream at one point of not exactly the Nemesis system, but like what Assassin's Creed Odyssey did with the like secret cult or whatever, of like finding clues and like finding like who like each member is, like doing something similar like that for the Court of Owls, so you can like hunt down and find every member of the Court of Owls and stuff like that. So there's definitely like systems and like little like fragment ideas that I would like to see, but like as like the overall like what the game is about, I have no idea, and I'm actually like all in for like whatever they decide to do. Like,
that's the thing, is no matter what comes down the pipe, I'm going to be super stoked to play more Batman. And even if it is just, hey, it's more Arkham, great, whatever, I'm fine with that. But in a perfect world, I'd love to see them redo the art style, make it their own, have it be a leaner Batman. And then to what you're talking about, how action games have changed, and you bringing up Odyssey reminds me how I think it'd be awesome if it was like you are building your own Batman. Right? Like you're investing the power so that if I'm playing a brawler Batman, like you're playing more of a detective Batman or a more gadget Batman, right?
Yeah.
Where it is like, he's still Batman, obviously, but we're coloring in the page our own way.
Would you like to see more RPG systems, kind of like how Odyssey and Origins are?
Yeah, I would. I mean, it's always kind of had that, right? In terms of, oh, now you got more batarangs you're throwing, right? Stuff like that. Like if they really leaned in that to make them feel differently, to have a different Batman build, that could be cool.
Yeah, that would be really dope.
Yeah. But again.
But I think they could like, again, do things like that and really change up the structure of Arkham, but still keep it in the Arkham verse. But we'll see. We'll see tomorrow, Blessing.
We'll maybe see tomorrow.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah, exactly.
You
If
need
not,
to hold
you'll see
me.
the Game
You
Awards
need to
December.
Hold me either way, because I'm either going to be crying tears of joy.
Dude, I'll be right here for you.
Yeah, that's actually a great point. There needs to be. You just need to sit in the background and watch the state of play. Not even be on mic, just watch just in case it happens. From kindoffunny.com/you're wrong, Boards and 00 says the Nemesis system was developed for a Batman game made by Monolith, but after Arkham was made, they redid a lot of it to work with Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. Liam Robertson reported on this on his Did You Know gaming channel. So there you go. That's where that information came from.
That's cool.
Speaking of Borderlands 3, number 2, Borderlands 3 is setting all kinds of records for 2K. This is an official press release from them. Today, 2K announced that Borderlands 3, the latest entry to the renowned shooter-looter franchise, has unleashed further mayhem by achieving multiple record-setting milestones for both the series and label following its worldwide release Friday, September 13th. Within its first 5 days of launch, 50% more consumers purchased Borderlands 3 versus sales of its predecessor, Borderlands 2, making the title the fastest selling in 2K's history, as well as the highest selling title for the label on PC in a 5-day window. In addition, Borderlands 3 has sold in more than 5 million units in its first 5 days, leading the Borderlands franchise to generate more than $1 billion in net bookings and becoming the second franchise in 2K history to achieve this milestone. Borderlands 3 marks 2K's highest percentage of digital sales for a cross-platform, cross-distribution title, with more than 70% of consumers purchasing the game digitally in its first 5 days of release. In addition, Borderlands 3 delivered the highest pre-order sales figures to date for a 2K title, as well as broke pre-order records with Epic Games Store. Initial sales of Borderlands 3 have exceeded the label's expectations, and, in particular, PC sales of the title through the Epic Games Store have been incredibly strong. Borderlands 3 claimed the top position on Twitch for most watched game on its launch day and has maintained its position as a top 5 most watched game since launch. In addition, Borderlands 3 has already generated more than 14 million hours of content viewed on Twitch, more than half the viewership that Borderlands 2 generated in its 7-year lifetime.
Wow.
Sweet fucking Jesus blessing. How do you feel about all this?
That's pretty wild. Borderlands, of course, is like a very popular franchise. I remember back home, friends I had that weren't even like super into video games were like super into Borderlands. It's one of those games that kind of transcends. How do you feel about the Epic Games Store sales? Because I know within the last, I guess, year, there's been a lot of back and forth about how people feel about the Epic Games Store, and it seems like that conversation hasn't affected the Borderlands sales one bit.
This, I feel, so again, for full disclosure, remember, we're working with 2K for the Borderlands show, so I mean, you hopefully have watched it and saw that it's just a kind of funny podcast where we say whatever the fuck we want, so whatever. I can say whatever the fuck I want here, but I want you to know that on the record. All of this stats is such an interesting example, the latest interesting example of what we all think about, but never talk about occasionally, but man, all of the vocal minority of we're mad at the Epic Games Store. We can't believe Randy Setter talked to Game Informer this way. Blah blah blah. How small that is. I always talk about it. When we're listening to podcasts or reading stuff on IGN or whatever. The overwhelming majority of people, that doesn't affect their purchasing decisions, nor do they probably even know it exists. Right. Whereas there's so many interesting articles and think pieces up. And we were talking about briefly on Friday, mentioned the Borderlands 3 has a problem with dwarfism and disability, VG247 article, right? And all these really think pieces in the long scheme of it, it really does go back to that quote Randy had in that contempt article for when we reported, or we covered it here on Games Daily. One of the quotes was, somebody's like, what about it? What does the internet think about all this? Is it going to blow over? And Randy's response, apparently, at least in the court documents, right, was the internet doesn't care. They just care if my next game's good. And it's 100% true, right? That's all it is. And I, as somebody who loves Borderlands, right, really does enjoy playing it. All I did on Saturday and Sunday was sit there and I thought I was going to get Destiny 2 eye again and blow an eye on my blood vessels in my eyes, right? I just want to sit there and play it. These are crazy numbers. These are crazy numbers.
Yeah. It's wild. I'm not too surprised because I feel it's been a while since Borderlands 2 and even Borderlands pre-sequel, and so I feel like people have been kind of starving for it. Yeah, and so I think this all makes sense to me. In the same vein as the Epic Games Store conversation, do you think that this does more to kind of, I guess, bring it in a way larger audience to the Epic Games Store,
100%.
or was the audience?
This is why Epic makes these deals.
Yes,
and I know people get so angry or twisted about oh man, the exclusives suck and I hate that I can't get it on my platform of choice. The idea here is that, as usual, they're dragging you into the pool, so you eventually oh man, the water's not that cold. It's not as cold as I thought it was. Yeah. So you're well, fuck, I gotta play Borderlands, and you get Borderlands in Epic Games Store, and you're like, hopefully, knock on wood for Epic, you're like, oh man, this game store isn't as bad as I thought. It is just another launcher, and it does suck that it doesn't have this, that, or the other shopping carts, whatever the thing they're missing today is that everybody wants on that PC platform. But yeah, I definitely think that's why you see them make these deals, to get those people on the things, to get this absurd number, right? The highest selling title for the label on PC in a 5-day window.
Do you think this speaks to the future of what Borderlands is going to be? Is Borderlands 4 going to essentially just be more Borderlands?
Great question. It's a really, really interesting
because it seems like
question.
it's working. It seems like the formula is there.
Hold on. Alan writes into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and says, has the condition of Borderlands 3, i.e. crashing, lag in menus, frame rate hitching, etc., hurt its game of the year run in your opinions? This game was an easy contender for game of the year for me because this game was an easy contender for game of the year for me because the state it was while I was playing. Resident Evil 2 Remake, you're still safe for now. I think he's saying it was a game of the year contender until the state it was released in.
Yeah.
This is a conversation you continue to see. I think, Imran on Gamescast was very much like, it's just more Borderlands, which is fine. But I was talking to Damon from IGN about it at dinner, and he was the same way. It's more Borderlands.
Yeah.
And I think the thing I keep hearing from people, and myself included, right, is like, okay, it's more Borderlands, which is great, but it's been 7 years. It's 7 years, and like, let's get rid of all the UI slow at times.
Yeah.
There's Epic Game Store apparently eats saves if cloud saves is on. All this other shit. The maps are this bad. Like now that I'm running around trying to clear maps and do side missions, I'm like, fucking stop, open the map. Where the fuck am I?
It's so interesting to see a lot of the conversation around Borderlands because like I was going into Borderlands 3 expecting that I would enjoy the gameplay and love the gameplay and kind of just be like about the writing.
Yeah.
And playing it, I've actually like, and this seems to be like a different opinion, but I actually like really like the writing in Borderlands 3. I found myself laughing a lot.
Yeah.
At a lot of the jokes that are being written, but the gameplay portion is the portion I'm having actually more issues with. Not necessarily like the gunplay. I think the gunplay is phenomenal. I think the different skill trees are phenomenal. It's like the structure in which like at a certain point playing, I was like, wow, this all we're really doing is shooting.
Yeah.
Like you're just shooting things in this game, which is fine because like it's a first person shooter. Like what else are you supposed to do? But like it feels so one note as far as like mission structure and I don't know, just like the repeated act of like, go over here, shoot these people. Cool. Go over here while somebody's talking to you and making jokes. Yeah. Okay, now shoot these people. Like it feels very one note in that way. And I mean, that's just like where I'm at. And so it's been interesting like seeing like everybody have these different issues that I feel like are rooted in the fact that, yeah, this game is a game or a sequel to a game that, originated in like what, 2008, 2009.
Yeah. You're talking about the original.
With the original, right? With a sequel in 2012 or whatever, right? This very much seems like a game that could have came out like a couple years after 2.
Yeah, I forget. It might have been Imran, but it might have somebody else I was having the same conversation with was talking about like if this would have launched on PlayStation 4 as a launch title, this would have been like
people would have been like, yeah,
this is the greatest game of all time.
Exactly. And so as far as like game of the year, I think that's gonna have a big effect on like how it's gonna do at the end of the year. I don't think this is gonna be in some people's game of the year conversations. Of course, I think this might win game of the year for some people, but I feel like for the vast majority of outlets, as far as I can see, as far as what I'm seeing from impressions, I don't think it's really going to shine through, especially with games like Resident Evil 2 Remake and like even Apex Legends and like I don't know how
Control,
many like Control. I was even gonna say like Devil May Cry 5, right? Like there are Sekiro. Yeah, there are so many games that I think are doing things, or at least there's so many games that are polished and are innovating in ways that's going to make it hard for Borderlands 3 to shine through. But in the same note, right, I don't necessarily think Gearbox really cares.
With numbers like this,
yes.
They don't give a flying fuck.
Exactly.
It'd be great to have Game of the Year awards, yada yada. When Paul was on the Borderlands show, like when we were getting ready to go live and we're bullshitting around, I was asking him about the reviews and stuff, and congratulating him on it. So good. He's like, yeah, but he's like, it's the creative director in me, and I'm like, oh, you want them all to be 10s? He's like, yeah, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not good enough that we, we're an 8.5 on Metacritic, that we're getting a 9 from IGN.
Yeah.
And my take with Borderlands 3 and Game of the Year conversation, right? And when I was streaming, somebody asked me, and we've had this conversation a few different times. It is not my Game of the Year, and it will not be my Game of the Year, because for me, Game of the Year I always say, this is the game that this exemplified everything gaming was in 2019, whatever year we're talking about.
Yeah.
And Borderlands is going to be one of my most played games of the year, sure. I think Division will probably be one of the few things that beat it out, right? That probably Marvel, Ultimate Alliance. I'm going to pass Ultimate Alliance. Shit like that, where I love Borderlands 3.
Yeah, same.
Despite all its flaws, despite all the reasons we can sit here and have great conversations and discussions about it. Like yesterday, I'm playing whatever hour, I don't even know, probably 55, something like that, of Borderlands 3, right? And I'm sitting there with Goldfarb, and we're having a great time fucking around, doing a circle of slaughter, and I got a new pistol. And like I start using this pistol, and I'm like, God, this gameplay loop is so good. Because like it's what you're saying, and what they do so well is like all you do is shoot in the game. But because the guns are so varied and different in their stats and this that area, you get a new gun and you start using it, you're like, oh my god, this changes everything. Suddenly I'm using a 6-shooter, but it feels like I'm doing so much more damage.
Exactly. I got a great shotgun that it's a Adeoye gun, and so you throw it or whatever. But when I throw it, it just turns into its own turret. I'm sure that's like a pretty common thing. But first time I got it, I was like, this is great.
Right?
This is awesome.
And it changes the way you play and how you're gonna do that stuff. Yeah. But Borderlands 3 is awesome and great. But it is that thing of I get in those menus. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like Jen's progress doesn't match mine, and like it's not level based. So then we had to go back and start our story, and like this is boring. Now I'm just blowing everything away. It's like, oh.
Yeah. But yeah, like again, it seems like, you know, it probably does not matter at all to Gearbox. They're probably just happy to see the sales. And so like, you know, Borderlands 3 might not end up being game of the year for a lot of outlets, but you know,
it's going to be a beloved game.
Top 5 most watched game since launch. Like, yeah. And
then you get into that. You raise a great question about Borderlands 4. It's like, what will that game be? Will it be it ain't broken, don't fix it? Or will it be they put it out in short? This time it's only 4 years. You know what I mean? They take less time to put it out because, you know, remember they had Battleborn in between this where they thought that would be a bigger deal and it wasn't. You put it out quicker and then you don't have the same impact, right? Because again, everybody was starving for this game. And the same way they're starving for Batman. Like Borderlands was that thing we were all waiting for so hard. We'll see.
Yeah.
Waiting for so hard doesn't make sense, but let's not talk about it anymore. Number 3, as we talked about earlier, Inside Xbox is tomorrow, like I said. Remember, they tweeted out, we're coming at you live tomorrow with XO19 updates, The Outer Worlds, Ghost Recon, Breakpoint, and more. And more includes DayZ, Hitman 2, After Party, and more. I didn't list everything in there. The Nano Biologist writes in to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and says, hey, Blessing and Greg. Xbox is stepping up to the plate tomorrow alongside PlayStation's State of Play and the Last of Us event with their own Inside Xbox show. One item on the list that's very interesting is Project xCloud. With XO19 coming up, it's hard to say what exactly they will be talking about or what they will be saving. Do you think they will give us general information like pricing and a release date, or save the nitty-gritty here and save the nitty-gritty here with how the service will work and bring the big announcements about this service at XO19? What are you hoping for with this service that hasn't been announced? Like any Game Pass Ultimate subscribers, use it for free and play the game through xCloud? Thanks, Nano Biologist. What do you think, if anything, we're getting? Because again, the tweet I have doesn't say anything about Project xCloud.
I saw a tweet that did. It might have been from Major Nelson. Okay. I think. I don't know. Like
kindoffunny.com/you're-wrong if you can find the tweet faster than us.
Yeah, like it's interesting because when I originally saw the tweet, I even think about the fact that XO19 is a thing that's happening.
Coming up in London. Or UK.
Do you know what we know so far about xCloud?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you mean?
Like what have they announced about it? Like,
if this is true and somebody can kindoffunny.com/you're-wrong me saying they are talking about it, I think what it's going to be probably is beta details because they talked about doing a beta this year. So I imagine it would be, hey, we've done the internal family and friends beta. It's been going great. We want to roll it out to you, and we want to roll out, if they're smart, in October. Let's get ahead, and I mean, I shouldn't say smart. If they're ready in October to get you ahead of Google Stadia, try to like do that and not clown them, but come out there. Yeah,
I can imagine it being like just like a few details with them ending with, we'll see more at XO19, or maybe XO19 is where you get people in to try it out for themselves, kind of like how Google Stadia has been doing at like PAX and E3 and stuff.
See, now we did play it at E3.
Did you really?
I played xCloud at E3. Yeah, at the Xbox area. Okay. Right now, hold on. Asher Madan over at WindowsCentral.com says, Inside Xbox returns September 24th, focuses on Project xCloud. It seems like we're going to change tomorrow. Xbox UK just tweeted that Project xCloud, XO19, and more will be highlighted during the event. It was Xbox UK. My apologies. That's what it happens. Yeah. Hopefully we'll know more of the platforms Project xCloud will be available on, as well as how to sign up. There are rumors floating around that Project xCloud may be part of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, but we'll have to see about that. Ooh. As with any such leak, take it with a grain of salt until we receive confirmation.
That'd be awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that'd be perfect because like Xbox Game Pass Ultimate is off the chain. I have it currently. Yeah. And it's just a great package because I think with that you get both Xbox and PC Game Pass.
That's 100% correct. Yeah.
You get Xbox Live. And the library on Game Pass just keeps getting better and better. And so like all that coupled with xCloud could set them up.
Play anywhere? Yeah.
Yeah, like that'll set them up great for launching the next Xbox.
100%.
I think because that just provides such a great like like imagine buying a new Xbox, next year when Xbox 2 or Xbox One, 2, whatever they call it, comes out, and being able to say like, oh yeah, I'm buying this new console, and with this console, I'm getting just this
streaming
huge,
infrastructure.
like the streaming infrastructure, plus this huge library of games, plus like I can play all these games on my PC. Like, yeah.
I mean, that's what Xbox has been building towards, right? And why I've been so bullish on, like, I'm a fanboy for Xbox. I want them to do well. I want them to crush it. Like, if that is what the dream is, and that is what it comes out to be next generation, or in a couple days, fuck yeah,
that's gonna be awesome.
The Xbox UK tweet is Inside Xbox is back with a boom this month. With huge updates on Project xCloud, XO19, Xbox Game Pass, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and more. So hopefully, we will get more on that. Yeah, I love streaming technology. That's definitely, I'm super fascinated and hopeful for the future with it. Like, I pre-ordered Stadia. Today we're having on We Have Cool Friends, Jack Buser from Google Stadia, to come in and talk about it. xCloud is right there with me. For me, it's that 2-horse race of, I know more about Stadia, so I talk about Stadia more. If xCloud drops and it's, the better service, if it runs even better, that's even better for me, because I'm a console person. I like having the consoles. I like having the machines. I like the idea of 4K gaming is underneath the TV, but if I'm in the hotel room, I have the thing ready to go.
You've tried out both Google Stadia and xCloud.
Yep.
Which one do you feel like performed better for you? Or is it too early to even say?
It's too early to say, and it's a stack deck, where the xCloud I used was on the LA Live stage when they took over that whole thing and whole area. It was running wireless off of that, so there was a little bit of lag there. Meanwhile, Stadia was at like a loft, and it was Ethernet. So it was using, I had the controller, and then I had a PC plugged into a TV running off of Ethernet, running it that way.
Okay.
So it's like that thing of kind of apples and oranges there on how to compare it. I want to see them both wireless in the office and how they run that way.
I'm very curious on what the details are going to be, because with them competing... Would you say they're competing with Google Stadia? Does that seem to be a direct competition?
Totally.
Okay.
I think it is in terms of the service itself. I think more than anything, Google Stadia is competing with them. I think Xbox is going to be fine regardless of this. I think that they're going to find a really attached user base. I think that if the next Xbox is awesome and their lineup is great, and they do include it with Game Pass and all these different things, it'd be stupid not to. And then it becomes the same thing as Epic Game Store, the pool analogy of like, you're already so close. Just dip your toe in. You already paid for it. Why not try it? It's free for a month. It's $2 for a month. And you get in and you're like, oh man, this actually works.
Yeah, it makes so much sense. And I'm curious about the details they reveal, because like the more and more we get to know, and the more and more layers get kind of peeled back, so we can kind of compare and contrast it with Google Stadia. I think it's gonna be really interesting to see how that back and forth kind of plays out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. We'll see what Jack Buser has to say about Stadia today. Number 4 on the Roper Report, Pokemon Go's best month just happened since 2016. This is Rebecca Valentine at gamesindustry.biz with a short one. Pokemon Go just saw its best month for worldwide revenue since its peak in 2016, bringing in $176 million in August. This is according to Superdata's monthly worldwide digital earnings report, which notes that a focus on events helped Niantic cash in on what has historically been the best month of the year for the seasonal mobile game.
Wow.
You still playing?
No.
You're out there catching them all? You caught them all?
I played for the first week.
Yeah.
And that week, that was an awesome week, because I remember like it was crazy, because like the game came out the same week that I had gone back home to visit, back home in Illinois, and I remember hanging out with friends, and we were like, oh yeah, Pokemon Go just came out. Let's go to the park tonight and let's just catch Pokemon and hang out. And we went to the park, and the park was just packed with people, playing Pokemon Go. And it was such like a wild, like special week, because I'd never seen anything like that. And so like it's awesome that like Pokemon Go is still going strong and is still killing it. And like it's wild to me that like they just had their best month, because I don't like, did they launch something that would like lead to this?
Just last week they did in the new generation of Pokemon.
Oh,
They're
they
saying
did.
events and stuff, like I think in terms of getting you in there and doing it, because again, summer months you're out doing stuff more on that fact. I think
That makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, good for them. Jen and I got addicted to it again for like a month and a half.
Nice. Are you still playing?
No.
No?
It was that thing. It's very similar to why I stopped exercising, because it's part of my routine, and then the routine changed, and then we never got back on track. Jen went to Canada for a week, so I stopped waking up early to walk through the park, and so suddenly I wasn't playing, and then she came back, and it's been living nightmare hair on fire around here of us doing things. So it's I'm going to work early. I'll talk to you later. Like, just not doing it. I've lost them all. You know what I mean? But now they got
feel
new
that.
dragons in there and shit. I don't know what the fucking gen is this time, but
What would bring you back in?
more walking. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, just basically getting out and doing things again. But
Gotcha.
it's the thing. If Ghostbusters World couldn't stick for me forever, Pokemon doesn't have a chance.
That's
You know what I
fair.
mean? But I'm sure I'll be back. It's gonna be, I assume, like my mobile DC Universe Online, where I come back for a little bit and I'm really hard and then I leave and
That's me with GT Online. I just
Oh,
get
yeah?
back into it just randomly.
Sure.
Yeah, whenever they drop something, and so that makes sense.
You like gambling in games, huh? You like taking
Hey
out these
man,
kids, huh?
I mean, like they just hook you in, and all of a sudden you're just in debt. It's great.
Number 5 on the Roper Report, video games are going after climate change. This is James Batchelor at Games Industry Biz. Some of the biggest names in games have partnered with the United Nations in an effort to reduce the industry's impact on the environment. An initial 21 companies have joined the UN's new Playing for the Planet Alliance, a group that has formally pledged to use their platforms and audiences to raise awareness of climate change and embark on ventures that will reduce pollution and more. Among them is the revelation that the next generation PlayStation console will have a low power suspend mode, something President and CEO Jim Ryan says will consume much less power than the PS4. Quote, if just 1 million users enable this feature, it would save equivalent to the average electricity use of 1,000 US homes, he wrote on the PlayStation blog. Meanwhile, Microsoft set itself a new target of reducing supply chain emissions by 30% by 2030 and to certify that 825,000 Xbox consoles are carbon neutral as part of a pilot program. The Google Stadia team will be producing a guide to sustainable game development, as well as funding research into implementing green nudges into gameplay. Ubisoft has promised to source materials from eco-friendly factories, while Sports Interactive has previously announced its new recycled packaging is expected to save 20 tons of plastic this year. One thing I caught off of IGN's article, and today I had to use Tim's computer because I forgot my computer home. All the articles were coming up as IGN staff. I'm not sure if that's an IGN thing for today, if that's some weird block thing Tim has. IGN, whoever wrote it over there, said this thing on their PlayStation article. Compared to other forms of technology, gaming is notorious for its carbon footprint. A recent report found that American gamers emit around 12 million tons of carbon dioxide annually, the equivalent of 2.3 million cars.
Wow.
PlayStation has been working to reduce the environmental impact of the PlayStation 4 for the past few years by introducing energy-saving modes and tweaking its hardware. Those stats there were a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
I was like, damn,
I would not have
did
thought.
not know that.
Yeah, not at all. Is that just like because of rest mode, or
Yeah,
like?
I think it's because I've heard people talk about it before, the fact that we never turn these consoles off, so they are always, you put them on a power strip, turn them all the way off, but I'm one of those assholes who wants the automatic updates. I want to turn it on. I don't want this like PC garbage,
And
right?
so like 80 million PS4s doing that. It's
Yeah.
probably not good for the environment.
Exactly. Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. So it's interesting to see them actually commit to it and try to do it, let alone talk about a energy saving feature for the PlayStation 5, even though that's not officially the title, but you understand how I'm driving it. Riot Goes Woof says, hey, Greg and Blessing. I noticed the new PlayStation blog today and saw the company is joining forces with the UN to combat climate change. This, in my opinion, is great. I wanted to know what your thoughts were about gaming companies getting more politically involved. We've seen companies take political stances before, such as during Pride Month. Do you think we're going to see gaming companies speak out on their values more often in the future, or do you think that politics and video games, outside of commentary/satire in the art form, should be kept separate? If a company like PlayStation came out in full support of something you didn't also support, or went against your morals, would it sway your opinion of the brand enough to make you stop purchasing their products?
Greg Miller.
Yeah.
Is climate change political?
That's what that was my thing when I read through it. It's like, I don't know if climate change is political. I know that like there's definitely if you want, there's different politicians who argue about it.
I understand the spirit of the question because like everything I feel like is turned into like a political thing. Kevin. But like, yeah, no, I mean, this one is interesting because, video games seem to be a direct cause to this, and so I feel like there's almost like more of an obligation there to do something in order to like better the environment, when you are contributing to emissions and stuff. So like, yeah, I mean I think this is awesome. I think this is great. As far as like politics in general in video games, I think no matter what it is, right, any sort of contribution to any sort of cause is probably going to be political in some way.
Yeah.
And so like, if the companies want to go for it, like go ahead. If like, I don't know, if a company started, donating money to something I didn't believe in, it's always like a case by case thing. And
Sure.
this is almost for like every issue. Because there have been a lot of cases where something happens with a video game company that I don't support it. But then it turns into a thing of like, okay, how much do I take it upon myself to stop supporting this company because they did this, like whatever it is, right? Crunch or, support a politician that I don't support or whatever it is, right? Like it's definitely like a case by case basis of, okay, is this enough for me to say like, hey, I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore? Or, do I like, what is the context that comes with it? Everything is a unique case for me.
I mean, you're right. Like,
Yeah.
it's this thing we talk about. It seems to come back all the time here because I think we exist in an internet that is 280 characters, which makes it binary. You're for this or you're against this. And that's never what it is. Our whole life and everything else happening is a gray area of a million different questions and things you have to figure out to personally figure out what the right and wrong answer is for you. And so, yeah, if PlayStation was like, you know what, we've decided we're Nazis, I'd be like, whoa, fuck, no, we're not.
Oh, no.
Fuck that. I ain't doing that.
He's like, no, I wanted Last of Us 2.
Like, I'm not going to be like, you know what, I'll suck it up so I can play Patapon 2 at some point. No, I'd be like, fuck off, Nazis, I'm not playing the game. But that's not what it is, right? And like, again, I don't think climate change is this. Because again, let's say we're wrong about climate change, which we're not. It's scientifically proven. But let's say we're wrong about climate change and we're not fucking up the earth. What's the worst that's happening? We're using less natural resources. Great.
Yeah.
Cool. You know what I mean? We're building a better planet for people. Whatever. Why do that? But in terms of this, like, I think Riot Goes Woof is taking it too far in terms of this is a political stance, when in reality, this is a slam dunk and should be done. Energy saving has happened forever, right? Like every time you see a refrigerator at Best Buy, it's got the energy saver sticker on there. Why wouldn't we have that on everything? Why wouldn't you want your consoles consuming less and costing you less?
Exactly.
Like that's the easiest.
Especially
answer
if you're like, part of what is contributing to the problem. I think to like be like, hey, to be self-aware and be like, hey, we're gonna try and do less. We're gonna try and set boundaries so that we're not destroying the planet. I think that's admirable.
What a political issue.
Yeah, that's very
Let's
admirable.
not
So.
ruin the whole wide world.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. Is Barrett? Where's Barrett? Barrett. He's what? Helping people out in there? Because we have breaking news.
Oh, do we really?
Yeah, exactly. 10 minutes ago. Borzen00 sent it to You're Wrong. A tweet from WB Montreal. Capture the night. And it's the logos that we talked about earlier going through. Kevin, I do not have Slack on this computer to send it to you. So I need you to go to WB Games MTL on Twitter and put that up there so people can see it. It's all it is. I mean, it's exciting. I'm excited. All it is though is the logos from the last one that we saw. And there it is. Just going through, just cycling through, changing into things. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. What I will tell you about this,
God.
ladies and gentlemen, is that this to Greg Miller now means confirmed you're getting it Tuesday.
Yeah.
This is not something you would do like to hold off for Game Awards. And I think it makes perfect sense to honestly what do you think? Do you think you open with Last of Us or do you open with Batman? Because you open with one and close with the other.
Yeah.
I think you probably close with Last of Us, right? Because that's what people are there for. So get them in.
That's true.
You catch them off guard in quotes with Batman.
Yeah.
That's now been teased.
Oh man. Oh, and you imagine there's gonna be Death Stranding stuff in there too, right? Because Death Stranding
probably
is in
what a trailer
November,
or something. Just
maybe.
a reminder it's coming out. Yeah.
Another trailer. Yeah, like
I mean, like literally not a Kojima 7 to 8 minute trailer, like a real like, hey,
yeah,
Norman Reedus is in a game. Everybody gets stoked.
Yeah.
Here's a
By
long
the
show.
way, oh man, this state of play is gonna be awesome. If this is that state of play, like, yeah. I imagine you open with this and close with Last of Us.
I gotta be down in LA playing Last of Us lame.
Yeah.
Blessing. I'm
Yes.
excited to see what this tweet is all about, what this Batman game is all about, what's gonna happen at this state of play. But tomorrow's still so far away. If I wanted something more immediate, say what came to the mom and grop shops today, where would I go?
The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform, as listed by the Kinda Funny Games Daily Show hosts each and every weekday.
Yeah. Out today, Oliver's Adventure in the Fairyland on Switch, Skyrift on PC, Mystery Solitaire, Grimm's Tales 2 on PC and Mac, Cronak on PC, Applewood on PC, one of my favorite bacons, Starzius on PC and Mac, and then Hell of Men, Blood Brothers is out on Steam. New dates for you. Out Buddies launches October 15th on PC, and then Megaquarium, or maybe Mega Aquarium, is coming to PlayStation 4 on October 18th. Deal of the day for you, Canucks up there. NHL 20 is getting a PS4 Pro bundle. It's coming to Canada September 13th for $499.99 Canadian dollars, eh? And then it's time for reader mail. You can write into patreon.com/kindafunnygames where you can get the show ad-free. I got 2 questions for you. See where I want to start with you, all right? Let's just keep on the hype train of
do
PlayStation State of Play. Borderlands00 writes into patreon.com/kindoffunnygames and says, "Good morning, Greg and Blessing. We are about 24 hours away from Sony's State of Play. We already know that Last of Us Part 2 is going to be there, but what else do you guys think we'll see? Will we see Patapon 2 and Wild again, or is there something else you think we'll be seeing?" So clearly, are you on the Arkham train now, or the Batman train now
Yes,
too?
yes,
Right,
I'm
so
on the Batman
Batman's
train.
confirmed.
Yes.
We're opening with Batman, we're closing with Last of Us.
Yes.
We got
I'm
20
there.
minutes, they said. Hold on, so
Oh,
Batman,
man.
Last of Us, right?
Yes.
And what, you figure Batman's going to be a nice trailer.
Yes.
I'm going to say 4 minutes. No, I'll say
4
5.
minutes.
I'll say 5 minutes.
5 minutes for Batman.
What do you think? The other thing, too, is remember, I'm going off what State of Play was, and they were like, this is going to have a different look. So I don't
Okay,
know if it's
so
going
you-
to be the disembodied voice being like, hey,
Do you think
everybody.
they're going to talk about Batman? Kind of like how like in Nintendo Direct they would like go on to explain what the game is, or
That's a good question. If you're going to do that, then it's just Batman and Last of Us, which
That's
isn't
true.
a bad
That's very
State of
true.
Play. It's
Like,
Batman, and then it's hey, don't forget Death Stranding's coming out, and then it's Last of Us.
you're thinking like a 4-minute trailer.
Yeah, I think you do a trailer that's like the bat is back, and it's like probably not even gameplay as much as a cinematic, right? That ends with the Batman Cordoval's.com or whatever they're
Or
calling
like a
it.
year, 2020.
Yeah.
2020.
Remember, wasn't there a rumor, and I don't want to say this because it won't happen, and fuck me, but like, remember, wasn't there a rumor that there was going to be a Batman game in October? Like at the beginning of the year, I thought
Was
we
there
talked
really?
about it. I thought we talked about that rumor. Can you fucking imagine if they were like, it's out
It's
next
out
month?
now. Legit, I'll go home. Man, yeah, I could see that.
How much do you think they're going to do? You expect a Nintendo State of or a Direct breakdown? Here we go.
I
Conversation.
Don't know. Since they did say they're gonna switch things up, but I don't know what that means
Yeah.
because. I mean, I'm probably with you. I'll probably say like even like 3 minutes. Like I was thinking something more brief for a Batman.
Yeah,
trailer,
you're right.
Since it's a reveal,
It's a
right?
reveal.
And so like do you just have like a minute of like maybe like Batman's or Bruce Wayne's voice like saying like it's been a while or like whatever like Bruce Wayne might say.
while.
It's been a while. And then like
right,
just to reveal
bro.
it as Batman, and then boom, chord vowels or whatever, and then
You're
we move
right.
on.
So 1:30. You're 1:30.
Yeah, 1:30 to 2 minutes is probably where I'm at.
That makes more sense. You're smarter than me. I like that.
Medieval.
All
'Cause
right.
when
we
is
do
that
have
out?
To say medieval October. I want to say 11th, but I'm not sure. Kindoffunny.com/you're wrong. I'm not going to Google it.
Is Iron Man? Have they announced a?
They have not. Originally at reveal, that was announced as a 2019 game. So the fact that we haven't seen more of it makes me think we're getting pushed.
Is getting pushed?
I think so. But and also I bet if I'm WB and I'm debuting Batman, I'd be like, fucking don't put a Marvel game in the
yeah,
fucking
that's
thing.
fair.
Because they're gonna mash up against it. Now of
Yeah.
course Fortnite's got Star-Lord shooting Batman in the head and Batman shooting Star-Lord, so who knows what's going on.
Yeah. Well, that's weird. Actually, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
What else?
And John
what
Wick's
else?
in there.
Yeah.
Fortnite's becoming just your action figure
Dude,
drawer.
Fortnite sounds like the Smash Brothers of entertainment.
Totally.
That's
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Medieval's
good. I like
Medieval,
Death Stranding.
yeah.
You're right. You have to.
Death Stranding, you have to
remind
have remind people, even if it is like I was gonna say like maybe a repeated trailer that they've done before, but I guess I don't. That's the thing. State of Play is still somewhat of a new thing. This is the third one, right? And so like
yeah.
we don't necessarily because there wasn't one at E3, so this would be the third one.
October 25th for Medieval. Thanks, everyone.
And so like I think we're still trying to figure out what this is, like what PlayStation wants it to be.
Yeah.
And so like, is there gonna be, if they do a Death Stranding trailer, is it gonna be like a new trailer? Even though like we've had so many, or is it gonna be like one of the ones from before, or maybe like just a quick cut, of maybe like a gameplay trailer, like a minute long thing. Who knows? But as far as like what else, I get Concrete Genie, right?
Yeah, probably.
Like
yeah,
that.
you're right. But it's also the thing is like they haven't used them as commercial vehicles in terms of like, hey, here's all the stuff that's coming. You know what I mean? Like they usually do ignore stuff, but Concrete Genie is a good one to put in there.
And then as far as like, you'd imagine they're gonna have, maybe smaller new stuff. I imagine like there'd be a new VR title or two.
You're getting
but also
much.
Like
That's 20 minutes. You're blowing.
Yeah,
you're
this
too much
they said
time.
20 minutes, right? For this?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
About
So I
20
am
minutes.
going pretty long.
Yeah. I
Maybe
like
like-
your idea of Batman. I like
Yeah.
the idea of Last of Us. I like the idea of Medieval. I think Medieval probably gets literally a minute trailer, right?
Yeah.
How much Last of Us are they showing? What are they talking about there? That's a big question too.
We have to get the release date.
Yeah. But so is that just another cinematic trailer, or is that like here's gameplay intermixed in that?
What I think, actually, I don't know, because they treat Last of Us so well as far as like we're going to make if they're gonna make a trailer, it is going to be like this like slow art like plotting thing, because what I originally imagined, like 5 minutes ago when I was thinking about like what's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking like, you know, the Breath of the Wild trailer that was at the Nintendo Switch presentation back in 2017.
Yeah.
I was thinking something like that, where it's like a story trailer and it's like epic music, everything cut together. But I don't think Sony would or Naughty Dog would treat Last of Us that way, because that was like very much like an epic thing, and I feel like Last of Us is less epic and more like more of like a slow burn. And so maybe, oh man, I don't know, my brain's in like a million places as far as what it could be.
I think we're gonna get a.
It's gonna be gameplay, right?
They haven't said anything about that. We know that I'm playing it. We know that there's the media event where people are playing it, which of course means there's a media beat coming up, which is why I don't think it'll be gameplay. I think it's going to be a trailer. Now, if you want me to get super Greg Miller about it, right? Mm-hmm. And just like really like get out on a limb, right? So they've been putting up these animated like, you know, teaser posters for it. Black, if you haven't seen them, they're black backgrounds with an object in there. Mm-hmm. It started with Ellie's switchblade. Then it was the hammer from that woman we assume is Ellie's mother in flashbacks. Then it was the bracelet we assume from the woman who was dancing with Ellie, right? Who was like, they should be terrified of you or scared of you or whatever. And I'm going off of the quotes that have been put them out. And then it was Joel's broken watch.
Okay, I missed that.
That was today's from Neil, at least. I'm sure Naughty Dog's putting them up too. I don't know. I could see this trailer setting up, again, this game's about hate, right? The first one was about love, Neil said. This one's about hate. I could see this one being this trailer to get you pumped for it, being set up and actually telling you the story of what Ellie's revenge quest is. And it's her with the knife dealing with the loss of her mother, right? Of these people who must have killed her mother back in the day, the people who probably killed this woman she's in love with from the camp, and then Joel's watch is smashed, right? Like, I could see it being Joel's dead too. And they reveal that at the end of the trailer. And then like really sets
That'd
up
be
to
awesome.
go, right? If like she's like, it's like her narrating this, like, they took my mom, right? And then they took the woman whose name I forget, blah, blah, and then they took you, and like, I have to go. I'm sorry. I have to do this. Yeah. And it's her walking away from like Joel headstone.
Trying to put myself in their head, I think that makes sense, and I think that then leads to maybe another state of play at the end of the year, or maybe in like if this game gets announced, because there's rumors for February, right? If that ends up being true, right? Yeah. Then you have like that story trailer at this state of play, and then either at the end of the year or maybe in January, you get another trailer that is like, here's like a gameplay / launch trailer. Here's like the multiplayer reveal, because I feel like right now it would be early for the multiplayer reveal, I'd imagine. Yeah. And so you
got to just get us hyped with the release date. This is a release date thing, and then the next beat is what we actually played.
Yes,
and so I can't wait.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is usually where one of you writes in for a squad up, but I'll tell you right now, the squad ups are getting out of control. Everybody's writing in, wanting to meet people in their area. We're looking for farmersonly.com people. All right, we need to get back to games, what you want to play. So hit me up, patreon.com/kindoffunnygames with the games you want to play with the people and your PSNs and your Xboxes and your Epic Game Stores and whatnots. Now it's time for You're Wrong. Of course, we ask people watching live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames to go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong. Tell us what we screw up as we screw it up. Nano Biologist says the Batman shirt we were talking about earlier was tweeted out in November 2018, not December. Dan Hodder says there's breaking news. Google Play Pass, 350 games for $5 a month. No ads or in-app purchases. It sounds like they're competing with Apple Arcade. I imagine you and WWE superstar Xavier Woods will have to tackle that tomorrow. That seems like too much to talk about right now.
Did anybody bring up the second tease that the
we did, and we yelled for you. Oh, capture the night, and you weren't here to help us. You know what I mean? Sorry. So we came up and said the game's canceled.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Borson does point out that notice it says capture the night and not the Batman. Post Arkham Knight. And then Chance Carter says the events in Pokemon Go have been a month of weekly raid boss challenges and egg-based Pokemon releases, including regional exclusives and the reintroduction of Mewtwo. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on and why it's going on there. And then Miss News Kebab says Nintendo turned 130 years old today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Nintendo.
That's awesome.
All right, Blessing.
Sir.
Do you feel confident enough to host the show now?
Not at all. I'm so terrified.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
You did a great job. I'm excited to work with you all week long.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, again, an up-and-comer here, Blessing from OK Beast. You were, overwhelmingly written in by the community of that's what they wanted to see do this up-and-comer opportunity.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. That really means the world to me.
So don't fuck it up.
I can't believe it still.
Don't let them all down.
Oh, I will.
I'm just building up his confidence and letting him know a lot of people are going to be watching and pissed off if he fucks it up. The rest of the week for Blessing looks like this, at least for Kind of Funny Games Daily. Wednesday, It is going to, no, that's right. Tuesday is going to be WWE Superstar Xavier Woods with Blessing. Wednesday, it'll be Blessing and me. Thursday, it's going to be Blessing and IGN.com's Per Schneider. Then we're doing the Gamescast Thursday afternoon. You can watch live, 2 p.m. Patreon.com/kindafunnygames. Be myself, Tim, Blessing, and Fran. And then Friday, Blessing's closing out with Alex Van Aken.
Yeah.
Exactly. Remember, we're doing the stream tomorrow, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. Gamescast, maybe I can talk about Last of Us, maybe I can't. Whole bunch of different stuff's happening this week. It's crazy. And we're going to Monday Night Raw tonight. Very excited.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm really excited about that.
Remember, everybody, youtube.com/kindafunnygames. You can get us on demand, roosterteeth.com, podcast services around the globe. Watch live, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. Go support us, patreon.com/kindafunnygames. You can get your questions in for all the guests I just talked about. We are going to sign off now on Twitch, record Sasha Banks, WWE Superstar. We Have Cool Friends. Then come back around noonish with Jack Buser from Google Stadia for another We Have Cool Friends, which will act as this week's thing. Crazy content schedule around here. You can get on the Kinda Funny Vids Twitter account. You'll see all about it. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's been our pleasure to serve you.